This is exactly what I would be doing step by step if I was opening Procreate for the very first time. There is absolutely no doubt at all in anyone's mind that Procreate is fantastic, but today's video is going to be based around what you should do when you first open the app. This is for people who have never opened up Procreate before. You've just got the app, you've installed it, you're ready to go. These are some pro tips you can do and implement straight away to be designing and creating much faster and much more efficiently inside of Procreate. The first thing I would do when I open up Procreate, you're going to see some pre-designated canvases there created by other artists, and they're amazing, but you want to create your own artwork. We're going to go to the top right, we're going to hit the plus icon there, and when we do that, you're going to see a much smaller list here. These are some of the presets that Procreate has offered you. I'm not saying don't use them, but let's have a look at tapping on this little black square here with the plus icon in it. When we tap on that, this will allow you to create canvases and have more control over the canvases you create. If we have a look here, we've got width and height. We can go by millimeter, centimeter, inches, pixels, and on the left, we have options for dimensions, color profile, really important one depending on what you're drawing / designing for. Our time-lapse settings, which is one of the reasons we came into here. I want you to have a look at this, and I want you to make sure you have either 2K or 4K and either good, studio, or lossless selected. By default, it's going to be on low quality, and that's not what we want because we want to be able to share our time lapses with people. So make sure we go into here. We can even have a look at our canvas properties, but dimensions is a big one. Pro tip here, if you want to know what dimensions you want to work in, maybe you want to print this in the end, look up some international paper sizes like A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and you can pop them straight into here if you go under millimeters, which is really going to help you. But this is the place you want to be when you create new canvases. It's going to allow you to have more control, and more importantly, when we do go to export our time lapses, which is one of the reasons we all love Procreate so much, it's going to be at a nice high level. Okay, so you created your first canvas and you're looking at a white piece of paper. Oh my goodness, a bit overwhelming. I know it always is. So what are we going to do next? Well, this is quite tricky. It really depends on what you want to do. But I think a really good place to start would actually be referencing. So let's have a look. We're going to jump up to our actions, a little wrench on the top left there. We're going to tap on canvas, and then we're going to tap on reference. Now, I'm showing you this for one of two different reasons. We could import a reference image into here. I'll go ahead and do that now. We can tap on image, import image. There we go, I've imported this image, and I could leave that there, resize it a bit, and work on my canvas here, ready to go. But let's tap back on that for a second. You're gonna see we have some options here. We can clear, we can import, we can also tap on canvas. Now, what I like about canvas is we can have this size nicely like this, and when I start to draw, I'm gonna see a real live time feedback of everything happening. So if I'm zoomed right in, look at this. I get a really nice zoomed in area to work on, but I still get to see the overall look and feel of my piece. I'll show you on another one of my pieces of art. If we get back to the gallery here, and we have a look at this guy I've been creating recently, if I zoom right in to work on his eye, you can see that yes, I can work on that area, but I can't really see what else is going on. So if I go action, canvas, and reference, now, if I make some big changes, see, we can see it right there in the eye. As soon as I do it. I love this, especially if you are doing some really detailed pieces, something like this, and you are working on a really small section of maybe the beard in here, and you want to make sure you're not making too many big changes, things that are going to affect the overall flow and aesthetic of the piece. Check this one out, give it a try, use it early, and you will love it, I promise you. Something else I think you should do straight away, and something that I wish that I knew a little bit earlier into my Procreate journey, was starting again with our time-lapse settings. I'm going to duplicate this piece here just so I have a fresh one to work on. If we go to actions and we tap on video and we go time-lapse replay, you're going to see a really long replay of all the sketching that I've done, but maybe I don't want to start there. Maybe I only want the time-lapse from where I am right now. I can go back to the actions tab, the wrench in the top left. I can tap on time-lapse recording, a little toggle there, and it's going to ask me if I want to purge the video. If we say purge, it's going to get rid of all the time-lapse recording so far, and it's going to start from this point forward. We also want to make sure that we toggle it back on because we want it to start recording again from this point. So now if I jump in and do some really crazy things in the background like this, nothing too fancy, just want to show you what I mean by getting some brush strokes down on the canvas. And then I go back to actions, wrench in the top left corner, and I go time-lapse replay. It's going really, really fast, but you can see that it just replayed what I did right then. Maybe you're sketching, don't like it, get rid of it. Sketching, don't like it, get rid of it. You don't have to start a new canvas. You can clear it and purge that time lapse. The next thing that I would 100% do straight away, if this was my first time jumping into Procreate and using it, I would tap again on the wrench icon, actions on the top left. I would go all the way across to preferences. Now, the reason we're going in here is a section, store brushes in iCloud. I have mine turned on. You should definitely turn yours on. This is going to allow you to have all your brushes stored in iCloud. Therefore, if the worst does happen and for some reason your iPad dies or you need to get a new one, you're upgrading, whatever that might be, it's going to be much easier to bring across everything in your iCloud backup, restore it, and your brush is going to come down from the cloud. This has been a really touchy point in the past, and I really hope none of you ever have to go through this. But as someone who has, trust me, get in straight away. And if the unforeseen does happen, you will be covered. Trust me, one of the best things to do. Another thing I would be 100% doing straight away, doesn't matter what you're drawing, how crazy you want it to get, how basic it's going to be, I want you to name your layers. Let's have a look at what I mean. If I tap on my layers panel, the two overlapping squares in the top right hand corner, you're going to see that I've done a very basic but decent job of naming the different sections of this artwork. So if I tap the little checkbox next to crown there, the crown disappears and reappears. The add-ons were things like beard and eyes, the hair, the body and the ear, and I've even got an original sketch layer in there. I can expand all of these out by hitting the little arrow that's next to the tick, and you can see how many layers go into each of these. But you can see the benefit of this. I can tap on one of these groupings and I know exactly what's going on in there. I can turn it on, I can turn it off, but then I can also drop that down and go, you know what? I want to start working here. I'm going to keep working on this section. The more you do this, the better organized you're going to be and the better artwork you're going to be able to create. How do we do it? Very, very simple. We're going to hit the little plus icon, do whatever we want to do in our layer, another plus icon, create another layer, start working on it. And then when one layer is selected, it's going to be blue, and we're going to swipe from left to right. That makes the other layer blue as well. And then we have an option there to group it. We can tap on the new group, and if we tap on the word new group, we can rename it to whatever we need. Now, you can go and name all these little sub layers in there too. By all means, if you want to do that, please do. But for me, working with big groups, these big overarching groups, is the best thing for me, and it will be the best thing for you. So get out there, give this a go, and I promise you better create some really cool detailed pieces of art, but most importantly, know exactly what's going on and where, and be able to get back in and make all these little small tweaks and changes to the overall aesthetic much easier. Those are my things I would do straight away as soon as I jump into Procreate. Let me know if you've done them or you're excited to do them. If you are a new Procreate user, say hello down in the comments below. I always love to hear from you, and let me know what you'd like me to cover on this channel, because I love talking everything Procreate. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you get out there and use Procreate to the best of your abilities. Just have fun with it. It is the best. And until the next video, I'll catch you then.